Hey guys, okie dokie. So your notes today are just over your homework that you had. You can check your answers, and if you had trouble with it, you can actually watch for an example. So I'm adding domain and range also, which were directions on your homework from today. Okay, and then I'll send another assignment working on graphs, just in case you had any trouble. So from today's homework, we have log base 2 x plus 4 minus 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is make my transformations. I'm going to go left 4 down 2. So if I go left 4 down 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2, this would be my new fake origin. And I'm only going to draw my vertical asymptote. So here is my vertical asymptote. So I shifted left 4. So this would be x equals negative 4. That is your vertical asymptote. What I do now is I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to change it from log to exponential so I can make my parent graph points. So I'm going to go around the world, backwards, 2 to the y equals x. So I'm changing it from log to exponentials because they are inverses. So I'm going to write 2 to the y equals x. Since it's 2 to the y, I'm going to make my points over here underneath the y. When I start substituting in, 2 squared equals 4, 2 to the first equals 2, 2 to the 0, 1, 2 to the negative 1, I'm going to take the inverse, the reciprocal, I'm sorry, my bad, the reciprocal, Candy. I'm going to take 2 to the negative 2, which is the inverse of this, and put 1/4. That was handy right there. So then I will graph these points on the graph, and I'm going to go starting here from my shift. Here was my shift point. I'm going to go right 4, up 2. I'm going to go right 2, up 1, and then 1, 0. 1/2 negative 1, so 1/2 negative 1, just put some more points, and then 1/4 negative 2. So my graph would look like this. So you guys can check your homework from today. And then here's something interesting. If you remember on the exponential graphs, all the domains, if you recall, were from negative infinity to positive infinity. So since logarithms are inverses, now on logarithm graphs, your ranges are now from negative infinity to positive infinity because it starts from down and goes forever up. Even though it looks like it's slanting, it's still slightly going up. So all your ranges now will be negative infinity to positive infinity. Because from down, from lowest to highest, negative infinity to positive infinity. All your ranges for logarithms are like this. So my domain, well, how far left does my graph go? It goes to negative 4. It will not touch the asymptote. So you're going to use a parenthesis. So negative 4, 2, and then my arrow goes on forever to the right. Things to the right are positive, so from negative 4 to positive infinity. And there's your domain and range, which was on your worksheet, and a lot of you didn't read the directions. You were supposed to give me that. I know I didn't teach it to you because I wanted to see if you could figure it out on your own. Okay, so number 2, again, let's make our shift first. So if we make our shift first, I'm going to go left 5, up 3. So left 5, I already put the vertical asymptote for you there. Left 5, up 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is my new fake origin where I'm going to start graphing from. And so then my vertical asymptote, since I shifted my graph over this way, would be x equals negative 5. There's your vertical asymptote. So now let's scribble this out. Let's rewrite this from logs to exponentials so we can come up with our points we're going to use to graph. So when I go around the world, I would get 3 to the y equals x. And here's my table of values down here. So let me write it again. 3 to the y equals x. So I'm going to put my points here. Again, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2. Those of you who like to start with -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, that's fine. I'm just starting with the positives because it's easier for some people to do the math, to do 3 squared rather than 3 to the -2 first. That's why I'm doing it kind of backwards. So then when I do 3 squared, I get 9. When I do 3 to the first, I get 3. 3 to the 0 is 1. 3 to the -1, take the reciprocal of this one and get 1/3. 3 to the -2, take the reciprocal of this one and get 1/9. So let's graph that one. So up here, starting here at my point, sorry, because it was left 5, up 3. So I have 9, 2. I'm not sure if I can make 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I can. 9, 2 is here. 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 0. And then 1/3 -1 and 1/9 -2. So there is my log graph. So again, my domain, how far left can I go? I can go all the way to my vertical asymptote at -5, and it goes on forever to the right. My range is always -infinity to positive infinity. Okay, so 2 more to go. Checking answers. Okay, let me scoot this up a little bit. Okay, now this one threw some people off. Remember, if there's no base in log, it's always base 10. If you forget, look at your calculator, because behind the log button, it says 10 to the x, because they're inverses of each other. So log is in base 10. So I'll put a base 10 here. I'm going to do my shifts, which would be left 4, down 3, left 4, down 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3, 1, 2, 3. I think that's 3. Make my vertical asymptote. Okay, this is where I'm going to start. Do not need this. Go around the world. So I would have 10 to the y equals x. That's what, again, parent graph points here. So I'm going to go 2, 1, 0, -1, -2. 10 squared is 100. Definitely not going to graph that one. 10 to the first is 10. 10 to the 0 is 1. The reciprocal of 10. You know what? Let me do the math this time so you guys can remember. If I had 10 to the -1 to get rid of a negative exponent, you do the reciprocal. That would be 1 over 10. That's 1/10. I'm trying to help you guys do the shortcut. Same thing with 10 to the -2. You would do the reciprocal, it'd be 1 over 10 squared, which is 1 over 100. So there's my points. Graph this, definitely can't graph that one, but 10, 1, starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right in my points. And then I go, sorry, I'm just checking to make sure. Right here, I go 1, 0, 1/10 -1, 1/100th -2, graph my log graph. Okay, my vertical asymptote is how far left did I go? I went to -4. My domain is -4 to positive infinity, and my range is -infinity to positive infinity. I think my green marker is about bit the dust. How am I doing on time? Oh, well, pretty good actually. I was rushing because I didn't want to mess up again. All right, so last one. So finally I'm going to the right. Right 2 up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. vertical asymptote. So that would be right at the door handle, x equals 2. There's your vertical asymptote. Scribble out the transformations you've already made, the shifts, whatever you want to call it. So I get 3 to the y equals x. I'm not going to make the points again because look, they're right here. 3 to the y equals x, 3 to the y equals x. There's my points already done for me. Yippee skippy. Okay, yippee skippy. So here we go. So we're going to start here, 9, 2. That one's off my graph. So I'm just going to start with 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 0. 1/3 -1. 1/9 -2. There's my log nest monster. Beautiful. Little skinny one. Sorry, I got my elbow in the way. Okay, so I already have my vertical asymptote, x equals 2. Hopefully you know the range by now, negative infinity to positive infinity. Let's move this over a little bit. Sorry. And then domain, this time I went as far left as x equals 2. So this would be 2 to positive infinity. Okay, so those of you who just wanted to scroll to the last part just to check your answers, there's 3 and 4. Let me pull it down real quick so you can see 1 and 2. If you just like, I'm not listening to her, I just want to see the answers. There's your answers. No one drew me pictures of log nest monsters on their homework. I was very disappointed. So you have 2 graphs to do. I'm going to send an assignment and maybe some of you can be creative and draw me a picture. Okay, that's it. Peace out. Have a good evening.